Welcome to Realities Unlimited. I'm your host, Don McCaskill. This time we're going to do a very short podcast. We're just going to take a look at the top 14 movies for 2014. Coming in at number 1, I think we're going to see The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 1. This is the third book in the Hunger Games series, but it's the first movie splitting that movie in half. I think we're going to see a little over $400 million. Now, I'm not talking its total revenue. I'm just talking about its 2014 revenue. The movie comes out late November, so it's only going to make that much money by the end of the year. Number 2, we're going to see X-Men Days of Future Past. This is the sequel to X-Men First Class, and the sequel to it will be X-Men Apocalypse in 2 years. This movie, I'm thinking it's going to do a little better than 300 million, somewhere between 300 million and 350 million. It does open Memorial Day weekend, which tends to be a very good box office weekend. Number 3, The Amazing Spider-Man 2. This movie opens early May, which I think is going to see it get about $250 million. The number 5 movie is going to be a little bit of a surprise. A lot of the predictions right now have this movie only making about $80 million. I think it's going to do more like about 230, maybe 250 million. And this is the movie Big Hero 6. You have probably never heard of this movie. It's based on an obscure Marvel comic book that Disney now has the rights to all the Marvel comic books. So this is a 3D animated feature that Disney is putting out in early November. I still think it's going to do good. I think, like I said, upwards of $250 million. How to Train Your Dragon 2, the sequel to the fantastic DreamWorks film, also about $250 million. This one comes out in mid-June, about the right time for the kids getting off school. And animated films have a longer life than live action, so that's going to help it strongly at the box office. Number 6, Captain America the Winter Soldier. I see this one also making 250, maybe $220 million. It's kind of in a weird place. April. And it's early April. So I don't know why they put it in that weekend, but that's where Marvel and Disney have decided to slot it. Doing only a little bit less than that movie would be Transformers Age of Extinction. This movie brings in the Dinobots into the Transformers universe and the Transformers mythos of the films. The third and final Hobbit movie, There and Back Again, comes out mid-December. I think that'll give it enough time to make about 200 million, 220 million. Also in the $200 million range, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. This is the sequel to the Rise of the Planet of the Apes movie. Here Caesar is teaching other apes in the wild. And this is the progenesis to the films that we saw back in the 60s and 70s with Charlton Heston, the Planet of the Apes movies. In the number 10 spot, we have Interstellar. This is Christopher Nolan's new film. Not much about it has been talked about. A teaser trailer came out. All it showed was the logo and a bit of music. So we really don't know what this movie is going to bring us. But box office wise, I'm thinking probably high 100 million, maybe 180 million. About the same for Godzilla. Now this movie gets a mid-May release just before the Memorial Day weekend, which is good because, as I said before, Days of Future Past is in that spot. So it gets about a week before that to get its box office numbers rolling. The movie was shot here on Vancouver Island, a little bit north of where I live, in the Cowichan Valley, Duncan, Nanaimo area. This is where a lot of the new Superman movie, Man of Steel, was shot. A good place for shooting films, and be interested to see what we see shot here in the next little while. Divergent is the 12th film in our list. This is based on a series of books that Summit Entertainment has bought the rights to, and they seem to be snowball producing this. And that is that they haven't put one movie out and waited to see what it's going to do box office wise before prepping and greenlighting the second and the third book, or sorry, film based on the second and third books. Number 13, Guardians of the Galaxy. Now, a lot of the predictions that I'm seeing say that this movie is going to do somewhere $200 to $225 million. I disagree with that. I don't think it's even going to make 190. My reason for saying that is that yes, this is a Marvel property. Yes, this is a Marvel film. Yes, this has got fantastic people in it. And yes, it's got fantastic people behind it. The problem is that this is an unknown property. Yes, there are a lot of people that are familiar with Guardians of the Galaxy, but the people that really drive these films, it's not a current comic book. It's not a big series from the 80s and 90s where a lot of these other comic book based movies are coming from, like the X-Men, like the Avengers movies. So is it going to have the audience? I think it's going to have people come and be curious about it. And that's going to be the thing. It's going to be that oh, I'll sort of stick my foot in the water and maybe check it out, but I don't know. And I think that's why it's going to do a little less. In the 14th spot, the Lego Movie. Now, again, this movie is coming out in kind of a weird spot time-wise. Early February. There's no holiday. There's no big reason to go see movies other than, hey, there's nothing else to do, which could be good for this. It's an animated 3D film based on Lego properties, which is a lot of different properties. There's some Batman stuff in here. There's some Lord of the Rings stuff in here. There's some Star Wars stuff in here. I'll try and put a link here to the trailer. Check it out. It's kind of interesting, but it's testing the waters. Again, Lego not really been a movie property before or a television property, just a plaything property. So going to be interesting to see how this does. I'm thinking around $150 million. That's my top 14. Subscribe, keep watching, and I'll see you at the box office.